Hey guys, I'm Sonia Sash with K9 Love TV. We're inside of the Spree Theater. Why are we here? Because Disney's Newsies is out, and I have the director Andrew with us here today. Thank you so much, sir, for being here.
You're very welcome.
So it's a lovely theater. How long have you been here?
I've been with Original Kids Theater for 8 years now.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Now, the Disney's Newsies, this is a classic 1992 musical.
Yeah.
So how did you make it your own?
Well, really, I mean, bringing it to the stage from the film, it's a completely different version, really, of the story. Some characters are combined, some characters are eliminated entirely. So already bringing it from film to the stage version that we license from Disney is already kind of makes it our own. One of the things we did is that we went back to history, and we noticed that there were not just male Newsies as is depicted in the film and in the original Broadway, but we used male and female Newsies playing male and female Newsies in order to sort of bring a little bit more universality to the story, I guess. That's probably the most interesting way that
Now, is this still all a teenage cast?
Completely teenage cast, except for one. There's one young child character in the show, so we cast a one younger girl to play that. But other than that, it's 33 teenagers and that one younger.
And some of them are playing multiple roles, as you said.
Yes, many of them are playing multiple roles. There's easily at least 60 different roles in the show.
Really?
It's really ideal for a teenage or youth theater because there's so many roles, so it can be flexible to. I think the original Broadway was 20 or 21 or something like that, but you really could go up to 40 or 50, which some school productions do need something that does that.
But how do you put your Andrew seal on this amazing musical?
My focus for this really was I like to focus on sort of the darker, more disturbing elements of the story. There's a real theme of abuse of power. Like there's that idea that they're standing up for themselves and being triumphant about it, but underneath all of that is the theme of abuse of power and people using their power for their own personal gain rather than for the betterment of people. So I really like to focus on that when in this show particularly.
So this is very relevant in today's society. Obviously, it's hitting a lot of undertones that we're seeing now in society.
Yeah.
How would you explain that? Why is that important to you today?
I think it's important because the show shows us that we can make a difference. That when things are happening that aren't really helping us, that are out of our control, I guess, that we can find other like-minded people, and we can make a difference, and we can change the world in a small way. Right.
So tell me about the story in general, high level, and then maybe one of your favorite characters.
But it's really about a group of Newsies who have a business decision made essentially against them by the owner of the company, of the newspaper company, and they don't like this. It's going to cause them to suffer in their life. So they band together. They create a union, essentially, one of the first examples of child unions or child labor standards, I guess. And they basically rebel until they get the attention of then Governor Teddy Roosevelt, who then comes in to sort of save the day and takes note and finally does something about it.
Somewhat of an underdog story.
It is 100% an underdog story for sure.
I love that. Now, I want to find out more about how you direct, also what goes on behind the scenes. But before we do that, we're going to go to Nova Scotia and hook up with our TV correspondent, Madison. Madison?
Hi Sonia, it's Madison from Two Paws Up, and today I'm back with Cassie, my favorite photographer. And she's my favorite because she takes pictures of dogs. Hi.
Hi Madison.
Why do you like taking pictures of dogs?
I love dogs because they're always happy and they're just so loving, and I have a lot more fun photographing dogs than people for that reason.
How many dogs do you think you take pictures of in general?
So I've been in business for 4 years. How many dogs has it been? I feel like probably at least 100 or 150 by now.
That is a lot of dogs. How did you think of the idea to become a photographer?
Well, when I was a teenager, I really liked borrowing my mom's digital camera, and so I took pictures of my siblings and I being silly on our family trips and stuff like that, and I had a lot of fun. And so then when I was in my 20s, I was trying to think about what I would want to do for a career, and I thought about being a photographer. I thought that I would have to be a people photographer because that was what most people do, and that was really scary because I was really shy, and the thought of meeting lots of new people all the time was really scary. But then I found a dog photographer, and I went, oh, that could be perfect.
Do you prefer a breed of dogs, or do you love taking pictures of all dogs?
I love all dogs. I haven't met one that I didn't like. My own dog is a pit mix, so I have a special place in my heart for them. But for photographing them, I like them all.
Me too. How can people contact you?
So I have a website, which is wetnoseimageshalifax.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, so people can find me there and send me a message.
Okay. So how old is your dog?
My dog is 4.5. She'll be 5 in March.
What's her favorite trick?
Favorite trick is probably bang. So she falls on the floor and pretends that she's dead.
Could we get her out to show?
Yeah, for sure. I'll go get her. And can you grab me a treat, and then I'll give that to her when she comes out. Thank you. All right. Can you show off? Good girl. Bang. Good girl.
Oh, that's so cool.
Good job. Here, you come over here.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
Oh, no problem. I'm happy to have you.
Back to you, Sonia.
Thanks, Madison. Now that was Madison, our TV correspondent in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Okay, guys, I am back with Andrew. He is the director of Disney's Newsies. Thank you so much for being here today. Sold out production first night. That was amazing. How did that make you feel?
It makes me feel fantastic. It really does. Yeah.
How do you direct a teenager or anyone in general? How do you convey what your vision actually is?
I'm a big believer in teaching by discovery. So in that, me trying to, through words, describe to them what it is I'm missing from, or what it is I would like them to have.
Right.
Because then they're making something their own.
And you're also teaching them as a vocal director as well. So how does that differ? Obviously there's a physicality to things, and this is very aerobatic, right? It's very physical. So how do you...
Well, I mean, my background is first in vocal music and then in theater is sort of a secondary thing. So for me, the vocal training comes much more naturally than I'd have to do a lot more preparation and a lot more sitting down and thinking about how to convey my ideas about character and narrative. Whereas from a vocal perspective, I mean, I've been studying singing for 13 years at a post-secondary level on top of
I can tell you have a very good voice, and you breathe through your diaphragm, right? Now, obviously, opening night, it must be just, your nerves are really running high, but is that every single night? Because you have to bring it as if it's the first performance every single time you're on stage.
I walk them through a pre-show routine that's pretty extensive. Probably of anyone here at Original Kids, it's probably one of the more extensive pre-show routines to try and get them out of their own heads and into this place. Also doing a vocal warm-up and all of the sort of regular pre-show kinds of routines, but really to get them mentally into this space so that we don't have to be nervous, so we don't have to have those nerves.
So what is it like backstage?
It's pretty crowded.
Yes.
I mean, this is quite a small theater, and we have 34 cast members who are all sharing one sort of communal space.
And right before it's about to start, what do you say to them? Is there something that you say or do that's become a tradition or a thing?
I tell them to breathe, because everything comes from the breath. Yeah.
It's true. It's very relaxing. It calms you down.
Yeah.
And do you say just have fun?
Have fun, breathe. If you get nervous, just breathe deeply. If you start to get excited, breathe. If you're having trouble, go back and think about your breathing. It's all about the breath.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's all take a deep breath. Thank you, Andrew. It was
Thank
so
you.
wonderful. Thank you very much. That is the Newsies here, more than just a song and dance. I'm Sonia Sash. Till next time.